Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Planet Build. And thanks again for tuning in at the Willow Grove Project. Today we are going to work on the Mythic Meadows, which is the sorcery area for my second park, the first area for my second park within the Willow Grove Project. And we are going to work on the outermost left section of this area, all the way tucked here into that corner of this sandbox. And this area functions for the carousel attraction over here, but also for the station of the Skyliner. Now this station, or this Skyliner, actually brings you up into the Neon District and back, but also provides as a connection between that area and this Mystery Meadows area. And that's what we're going to do today. It also is the theming for the first section of our Motorbike Adventure coaster. And there's also a small little area over here where the mine train, or the train, actually goes underneath the ground to make sure that I was able to put a pathway on top of this this train over here, and connect that Skyliner attraction to the rest of this area. So we got a small little cave over here where we're going to do some theming for that train. Yeah, and like I said, also the theming for the first section of our Motorbike Adventure coaster. It will be lots of rocks, but also a nice station building over here. And like I said, I did some theming already on the Grand Carousel on this side, and the entrance for that one will be created over on this area. And then in between, I'm going to add some toilets, mostly with these types of buildings, but also some food and drink stands, just to make sure that there's enough things to do within this area. So let's get this thing started. Let's kick in the speed build, and afterwards, like always, we're going to review the things that we built today. One little notice afterwards is that I highly appreciate all the views, all the comments, everything. I'm just not able to upload one video a week right now due to work. Kind of busy with social life and stuff like that. You heard that probably, or you probably heard that in the last video as well. But I highly appreciate all of you. But for now, let's go ahead and start speed building and see what we can create of this area over here. So let's go ahead and review the things that we built today, and I am actually quite happy with all the things that we did so far. I think we covered a lot of ground in today's section, in today's video. We did the station all the way in the back for the Skyliner. We did the overlay for the building for the Grand Carousel. And there's actually a lot of things going on in this area, not on top of the pathway, but also underneath that pathway. First of all, you got the locomotive, the train track ride, which is actually going underneath the water over here into a small scene underground over here. And I think it's just dark enough. I do need to add some lighting though, some light effects in this cave over here. But I think this is a nice addition to that locomotive track or that train track. Where I'm actually going to put in a lot of scenes. Oh, there it comes. I'm going to put in a lot of scenes where you do see some things happening while you would ride this ride over here. So it's just not a ride or a functional ride, it's also a cinematic ride, and that's what I want for this attraction. We got the Motorbike Adventure coaster going on top of this this walkway over here, or this bridge. And this bridge actually brings you to our station for the Skyliner. Yes, this is just a station for the Skyliner. It looks like a dark ride entrance, but it's not. It's just the station for our Skyliner. And this is actually the dead end point for that Skyliner. So it's a hard word, for that Skyliner. And this eventually brings you up into the Neon District area and goes all the way into the backside of this castle over here. Now I do need to do a lot of things on the backside over here just to make sure that the scenery from within that Skyliner is also perfect. But you get some nice views while you would ride the Skyliner from here into the Neon District area. Maybe I can put in some water effects over here. It's just hitting the water. It's not underneath the water, but it's just hitting the water over here. So maybe some water effects would be nice. We also got the queue for the Grand Carousel attraction. Just plain basic queue, not that hard. It's not the AAA attraction within this area. I think it's just enough. And what I usually do for my queues, if I don't like the types of queues that I use, I'm just going for the normal pathway, and that also works properly. There are no issues with using a normal walkway for a queue. The only thing that you need to make sure of is that it's just long enough, and then eventually the guests will line up in that queue or in this pathway as a queue. So you don't need to use the queue, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe that you don't need the queue for the entrance of your attraction or the queue pathway. Now some things that I actually do want to add later on, and that is mostly in the middle of this pathway over here, but also in front of our station for the Skyliner. I do believe this pathway over there and also this pathway over here is just a little bit too wide, so probably going to put in some planters where you also got the option to sit on and maybe get a view of the surroundings of this area. And also a thing that I do believe I'm going to do in the next video, and I kind of like that idea, is I got a lot of space left in the underground section over here. So the queue for the Motorbike Adventure is all the way down into this structure over here. So let's say I got this space over here left to do something with, and I was just some planters and some rocks covering it up. But maybe I can make a walkthrough into this underground section and make it look like some sort of a dungeon, that you're actually inside the castle, but the walkway would be, let's say, starting over here, going inside this underground section, going to make a dungeon section, and then eventually you will end up on this side over here. So I do believe that's enough space for me to create something like that, but that will probably be for the next video. Yeah, and I think that's it for today. I kind of like it. Probably going to add a little bit more detail to some things over here, but let's say for 95% it should be complete. Yeah, so that's it. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Let me know if you get any suggestions for this area, and otherwise I will see you guys in the next video. So thank you for now, stay safe, and bye bye.